Fuck these liberals. Like, fuck these liberals, man. Fuck these liberals, man. Like, I'm so fucking pissed off at these liberals. Like, literally, one of the first things that Justin Trudeau does as soon as he gets back in office is he equates the far right and the far left as like the same thing. Because this is the new strategy that's coming out of the corporate power structure, right? Is to pretend as though communists and socialists are the same as fascists, that these two things are the same. And they know that the base is so fucking stupid and illiterate that they'll go with that. They'll just keep pretending as though the communists are just as bad as fascists, right? And it just kills me because they're going to do this kind of stuff while simultaneously abandoning the populace, right? That the liberals are not going back to parliament until November, which is after the supports, right? The CRB and the CERB and all that kind of stuff, after they lapse. And once they lapse, you're just going to have like thousands and thousands of people just be like, well, I guess I'm homeless now, right? And how do we know that's the truth? Because it's exactly what's happening in the United States. It's exactly what's happening in the United States. Like, I just don't know what to say to people who are voting liberal anymore. Like, I just don't know what to say to them. Like, your leaders are obviously working for corporate power. They're obviously working against your interests. They're obviously working to destroy you. They're obviously working to grift you into believing that they give a shit about things that they obviously don't care about. Like, I feel like I'm looking at, like, straight up a battered housewife at this point. Like, I feel like I'm straight up looking at someone who I'm saying, like, oh, so he hits you every night. And she's like, yeah. And like, oh, and he's like verbally abusive and he's causing you problems and everything's like really difficult for you. And you do all the work while he sits around and just drinks beer all day, right? Like, why don't you just get rid of this guy, right? And then she goes, because I love him. And it's like, I don't know what to say to this. Like, what am I supposed to say about this anymore? Like, literally, like, is it his name? Is it like nostalgia porn for his daddy? Like, do you remember like Pierre Elliott Trudeau, and you're just like, oh yes, those were the good days, the good Trudeau and his son. Oh, I guess so, but I do love his dad. Like, at some point, I've got to start thinking like, is this like a sexual kink for people? Is being abused and like getting shit on and getting ignored and getting abandoned and having people lie to like openly lie to you and then actively betray you, is this a turn on for people? Are there people who are like, oh yeah, Justin Daddy, lie to me good? Because it seems like that's the fucking case. It seems like that's the fucking case. And it's beyond like politics and policy at this point. Like, it's overt in your face. Like, they might as well be coming up to you and smacking you in the face, right? Like, the liberals have been promising pharmacare for 20 years. Where's the pharmacare? Oh, I can't fucking imagine what's going on, right? 77% of even liberal voters think that the basic income is a good idea. Where's the basic income? Oh, I can't fucking imagine what's going on with fucking that. All of the environmental policies that the liberals have been passing have come from the fossil fuel industry directly. What the fuck do you think is happening? And they're like buying pipelines and shit. Like what the fuck do you think is actually happening, right? What the fuck do you actually think is happening? Because anything other than the liberals have been bought by psychopathic billionaires who are interested in destroying you for their money is fucking ridiculous. And if you keep checkbox liberal, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get a society that abandons you, certainly, abandons your children, and possibly maybe destroys all human life. And you just keep voting for it. You're just like, liberal, yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. Like, we are either exceptionally stupid, or, and I'm very concerned that this is actually the case, interested in suffering. That we actually worship suffering and that we like to suffer. That grinding our life into this system that actively destroys us and our children is something that we actually get off on, right? Like it just seems to be the only thing that makes any fucking sense at all. That we're completely disinterested in creating a stable society. We're completely disinterested in creating support systems. We're completely disinterested in helping people, even our own children. We're completely disinterested in this. What we want is the suffering. That's what we want. That the call to the void has become so overwhelmingly large that now we're trying to create a society that ramps us. We're trying to accelerate to destruction at this point. Like, why else are you voting conservative and liberal, right? It's not to save anything, right? It's not to actually build anything. It's not to create a stable society. It's not to do any of that. So why are you doing it, right? Why? And I'm yet to have anybody actually give me a reason at all outside of like obvious grifting propaganda, like and stupid shit, like, oh, they'll lower the deficit. Like, shut the fuck up. You literally don't know what a deficit is. Like, you don't know what it is. And you keep talking about how important it is we lower the deficit. Like, it fucking matters at all. Oh, the invisible money dollar thing that we invented and made, it's lower. That's good. What? What the fuck are you even talking about, you clueless boomer? Shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm so fucking upset about this, man. Like, I've been trying to keep my cool about the fact that, like, oh yeah, we went to the polls and we voted liberals again, right? But only a minority. We didn't really give them that much power, so everything kind of stayed the same. And I'm trying to, like, always have, like, a good perspective of being like, oh, you know what? We didn't give them the majority they wanted, and we stood up to corporate power and all this kind of stuff. But you know what we should be fucking doing right now to these fucking conservatives and liberals? We should be abandoning them. We should be abandoning these fucking psychopaths who are actively working to destroy us and our children. And I think any other position is outrageous. I think it's outrageous to think that the liberals who had a majority and a minority and have done fucking nothing with it have done fucking nothing. Literally fuck all. Like, what's Justin Trudeau actually done? He legalized weed, so a plant that was made illegal for some reason in the first place, whoop-de-fucking-do. What, he's banned straws? And, don't forget about the carbon tax that was the fossil fuel industry's fucking policy, so that we would pay for it and not them, right? And they bought a pipeline, right? Don't fucking forget about that. Like, literally, we have watched 8 fucking years of nothing from these guys. 8 fucking years of fuck all. And we're still like, yeah, liberal. Liberal. What's wrong with us? There's something fundamentally wrong with our brains and our souls. Like our hearts and like literally every piece of us. There is something fundamentally wrong with us if we are still going along with this. It's unbelievable. And then what's going to happen if we keep doing it? Oh, organizations like the PPC are going to show up. And they're going to go like, yeah, we're all fucking pissed off. We don't know what's going on. We are fascists and we're going to take over. And guess fucking what? They will. Unless we fucking abandon these losers, get rid of them, and start voting for people who might actually help us. Like, we're a fucking embarrassment. We're a fucking embarrassment. And we should be ashamed if we're capable of it. I'm so over this, man. Like, liberals, man. Liberals piss me off like I cannot believe. Like, getting upset because Doug Ford said something about immigrants while he literally lays waste to the disabled and the elderly and the homeless. Liberals just don't give a fuck about that at all. They literally don't care. They literally do not care even one little bit. Outside of just being like, yeah, I guess so. Get fucked. Like, get fucked. Go sleep in the streets once. One night. Go out into the street and sleep there one time. Fucking losers. Like, that's who these liberals are. They're just enormous losers. Right? And when their children grow up and begin to feel the effects of what it is to be in, like, a liberal Canada, they're gonna think that their fucking parents are enormous losers. Because they are. Because they are. If you're voting a liberal, there is no bigger loser than you. Because you genuinely think that these liberals are here to help you. You genuinely think that the liberals are actually trying to help. That makes you the most gullible loser that has ever existed in Canada. Period. Hands down. No question. Like, at least the conservatives are aware that they're trying to destroy people, right? At least they're not lying about it. At least they're walking around being like, yeah, we're going to decimate a whole a class of people. We're going to spike homelessness. Those people just need to get better jobs. They just need to sell themselves to the capitalist death cult, right? Like, at least they're being honest about how little they give a shit about human life and how little they care about their own children. Like, at least they're being honest about that, right? The liberals will actively lie and actively say to you, yeah, we actually do care. Yeah, we actually do care. And then when they take the knife out and plunge it into your back, you go, wow, I didn't expect that thing that they've always done 100% of the time completely. Like, it's so fucking, like, I feel like I'm watching a horror film, right? And the lady's going up the stairs, and I'm just like, don't go up the stairs! Leave the house! What are you doing? That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm watching a horror movie where the protagonist is making all of the wrong decisions. And it's just like, stop, maybe? Maybe stop. Like, maybe actually leave the house, right? Well, if you made it to the end of this clip, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Patreon's down below. I could use some fucking money so I don't get thrown out onto the fucking street like these liberals intend, right? That's why I'm so fucking mad about this. Like, who do you think's ending up in the streets? Who do you think's gonna end up homeless in the end of this, right? So that you can all be like, well, they just need to get a better job, I guess. Like a bunch of fucking losers, like you fucking are. Fucking liberal losers. Jesus Christ.